Oh shit, I'm still on the starting thing. There we go. Morning, boys. Geordie! Oh, you've missed the first streams this week, Geordie. I'm good. I hope you're doing well, Geordie. Mr. Geordie. Yeah, I've been doing good this week. Both in life and in trading. I think this week, what have I had? I think I've had... Monday was loser day. I've had 2 winning days and 1 losing day this week. And I traded every day apart from Thursday. Yesterday I was at the spa all day. I was at a spa with my girlfriend all day. You're perfect in the ways that matter, Geordie. You're perfect in the ways that matter. Raburn was good. We did just have PMI, didn't we? Didn't seem to do a whole lot. And then we have 10 AM consumer sentiment. So I've got like 12, 13 minutes before I can take a trade. Really this short, actually. Would it have got filled? Looks like it fell just short of what the entry would have been anyway, but I wouldn't have taken that, even though it has 2 levels here, which counts as 2 confluences. One of them's a previous day, or one of them's a point of control, which I'm not a massive fan of taking trades off of, and the fact that it was, 8 minutes before news, high impact news. Not ideal, but if that came a little bit higher to that overnight value area high, that could have been a decent fade. Something like a 1-to-1, and then even targeting like overnight point of control. I did take a trade on stream, not on stream, sorry, on Wednesday. I didn't think I was going to get a trade, so I called the stream. Let's scroll back to Wednesday's price action real quick. Oh. Where are we? I'm not going to have the levels up to date, but I know roughly where I entered the trade. So we ran up there in like a straight line. So there was obviously nothing to do from there. And then knocked around up here. And then when we fell down here, I got in a short. Oh, where was the short? It was around about here. I shorted from there. So I took a little short. Something like that, I want to say. Yeah, that looks about right. Something like that. And then I moved my stop to break even, or it might have even been down here somewhere actually. I shorted and then moved to break even. I took a partial at my normal stop loss because I was expecting it to drop lower to overnight point of control, which was about here on that day. And I got stopped at break even right before this drop here, I remember. So unfortunate, but it was cool to see. But yeah, that was the trade I took on Wednesday. It was just off stream. It was literally probably 10 minutes after I ended the stream on Wednesday. Took a bit of a material breather, have you? Yeah, mental breather, not material breather. Yeah, mental breather for sure. And I've just not been streaming since I started learning this whole volume profile stuff, because I didn't really want to have to stream and have to like think as much about what I'm doing. I'm at a point now where I don't really have to think. I do have to think, obviously, but I know what I'm looking for, sort of thing. It's comfortable, let's just say that. Yeah. Yes, it's a good thing for Mr. Disc Whiz, Mr. Dom P. He keeps saying that every time he hears me talking volume profile, he feels like he's in a dream. It is probably a lot weirder for you guys as well, because like for me, it's been like over a month probably now of me just looking at the chart like this and using the words that I use now, compared to like everyone that will have watched me a month ago. It seems like a complete night and day change. I need to put this seat foot, but it squeaks if I have it leaving a little slightest bit back. We had a massive drop yesterday. I literally wasn't even looking at the charts yesterday. Well, I was on my phone. Wasn't trading them. But I don't think I would have caught anything yesterday, to be honest. From what I saw, if anything, I might have taken a loss, because I think I would have maybe tried to fade. No, because that wasn't even... I remember watching that. It wasn't a good enough quality trade for me to take, but... Yeah, so yesterday would have probably either been a loss, but it was most likely would have been a no trade day for me. First one of the week that would have been, because every other day in the week I've been trading. That's the main thing I've liked about volume profile, is the amount of trades that I get. There's so many more entries than with ICT. At least the way I was trading ICT, obviously. I did it on mute mic, didn't I? Yeah. I am leaning bearish because we've come up to at least as long as we stay below these lows and this overnight previous day point of control and overnight value area high. I am perfectly happy to take a long above this area. As long as we're below it, I'm going to be looking for shorts. So, like for me today, a long would look like this, with my entry being here. If we can build up some nice volume along this level as well, that's ideal. Or if we come lower, I'm probably going to want us to come like all the way down here and then retest in this area. And I can get a short entry in that area. They're my two trade scenarios, really. My two high probability trade scenarios, let's say, that I'll be very eager to take. Yeah, yesterday it did really just run off, it looks like, didn't it? I would guess a lot of people struggled to get an entry there, because that's obviously in hindsight. Like, why wouldn't you wanted to be in a part of that? But much easier said than done. Looks like there's very, very few and very short-lived pullbacks there, so anyone that did catch a short after sort of 10.50 was most likely not like 100%, but most likely chasing it, because it's like it very, very short pullbacks. Depends on your strategy, obviously, but what did it do in the afternoon? Just kind of nothing. Yeah, it just kind of went sideways, dipped a bit lower. Here we go, here's a break. Let's see if we can break above this. We have news again at 10 AM. Is it revised or prelim consumer sentiment today? Let me check. We have PMI and then it's revised. Okay, so revised is Is revised the... I always forget. I'm going to have to max the screen out. Preliminary, yeah, okay, preliminary tends to be the more impactful one than revised. But we shall see. We shall see. Again, that's a short trade there, but I'm just going to wait until 10 today since we have news. But that is another short idea there, which would have already been target hit. Is a pretty big... Probably wouldn't have been... now it would have been, but... You probably want your stop to be about 10 points today, to be honest. So yeah, would have been a dub short there. A little bit too close for news for my liking. If it comes back up there again after news, then I probably will short it. Probably from, let's say, previous day's point of control. 10-point stop. That'd be a trade I would take after the news. Since this profile is pretty evenly distributed. I shouldn't really be referring to this until 10 AM, but give me a break, it's 9:57. But yeah, it's a pretty evenly distributed profile, which basically just means fade the extremes. And the fact that this high extreme up here is overlapping with two value levels, that's a solid short. What's my risk on that for $100? It's going to be 2 contracts in it. I think it was already just there. Yeah, 2 contracts. 10. Okay. See what the news does at 10. And then right after the news, if I can take that trade, I will. I'm so thirsty today. Okay, there's the news spike. I'm going to give this like, let's say 2 minutes. Just because that looks pretty erratic. So let's give that a couple minutes. And then my limit order will go in. I'm going to put the limit order in, but if this continues to break to the downside, then I'll get rid of it and look for something else. I would want to see this come back up into the range pretty quick if I'm going to be short. And if it starts breaking down here, then I'm not going to be short in that. Or at least not from up there. I'll wait for it to build some volume up down here and try and catch like a continuation sort of trade. It's a shame that both these shorts from the high of the range were both right before news. I'm going to keep my limit order up here until once we start breaking below this low into this sort of area. Then I'll look for something more like this probably. That's a very strongly held point of control as well, look at that. So we closed down there at the end of the day. That's when these levels, these white lines became confirmed. And then we came all the way up to point of control here, fell just short, held, broke down to previous day's value area low during London. That would have been a great long from previous day's value area low. Came all the way back up to the middle, dropped again below, failed to hold below value area low twice. That was a big pump up at 7:30. What happened then? Was that news? Really? Was it news at 7:30? Somehow. And then yeah, held again at point of control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. My limit order's still here, so if it is going to come up here, then I will get filled. Was there news at 7:30 or like some sort of announcement? Let me check. There was an FOMC member speaking, but nothing major. Let's see if we get filled here. I still like that short. I just don't know if it's going to reach all the way back up there one more time. Be nice if it does though. My target is what? 84.75. I'll probably just take the full position off at 84.75 instead of trying to hold a runner on this, because I don't really like trying to hold a runner on a day that's just kind of consolidated. And then if I do get filled, my break-even point is 90%. I'm not giving too much meaning to that point of control being down here as well, just because there's a lot of... This is like one big point of control. It's not a very distinguished, like, big ledge that's much more prominent than, like, the other ones. Point of control could just as easily come, like, up here or here or... So, when it's one big even shelf like that, I just kind of do it as one big... well, I don't do it, I think of it as one big point of control. What's that ICT view today, Geordie? Are you fading the volume profiler, or are you joining me? You'll be trading NQ as well, actually, won't you? Which I don't even have on here anymore. I have gold on here for some reason. Oh yeah, I was looking if gold worked well with the value levels, because I've been told that it does. Okay, looks like I'm probably not getting filled here. Oh, you're short? Yes, nice. Where from? I'm guessing you got in on some sort of fair value, maybe this fair value, maybe. 585.5, not too confident though, size down a bit. 585.5. Oh, nice entry though. When was your entry? Was your entry like 10 o'clock or like 10:06? Probably 10:06, right? You wouldn't enter right on the news, would you, Geordie? You've got some nice equal lows from an ICT view, whatever that level is, 561. It's about to get smacked. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that limit order just because it looks like it's not getting filled. $10.06, yeah, looking for a close below the lows, then I'll take a look. Yeah, nice. 30 minutes of 40 minutes, almost 45 of just pure consolidation so far. What fun. It's teasing you here, Geordie. That's crazy. 3 teasers. Give it till 10 to 15 to close below it. Oh, it's 10:15. Trail down to 580. No, it heard you, Geordie. It heard you. Surely. This is going to be one hell of a breakout. If I feel like it's just going to pop below those lows. There you go. Overnight value already low. that position off there. That's never getting filled at this rate. The trade idea I'm looking for now is a breakdown here, build up some volume across those levels, and I can get a retest on that. What's NQ doing? More of the same. Big reaction off the overnight value area low there. It happens to the best of us, Jordy. Now it's going to tank, now that it stopped you at break even. Point of control shifted down to that lower node now, so see if it holds below that node. So far we're almost an hour into the session and we've yet to break out of the overnight value area levels. The fixed range volume profile, Geordie. I have my previous day profile. Let me zoom out and show you. Previous day profile, which is the big ass one here. Oh, that is from 9:30 a.m. from the previous day's RTH session, so Thursday, until 3:59. Basically, like in my head, it's dragged till 4, but obviously, like 3:59, that candle will close right as 4 p.m. starts. So, and the reasoning for that is there's just a big drop off in volume after 4 p.m. So, to get the most accurate levels, 9:30 until 3:59. And then Thursday's overnight session, which is the Globex session, which is 6 p.m. start until 9:29, 1 minute before the open. Because again, some people drag that until 9:30, but then that's going to include that first minute of the new day's session. So 9:29 is the correct time to anchor it to for the overnight value area levels. Do I have them written down somewhere? Nah. But I can... It's just those two profiles, Jordy. It's just literally a 9:30 until... I just always think in my head, I need to have the previous day and the previous... Like, whatever the last one is that's closed. So, like, for example, if you were trading in London, you would still have these... Well, you'd have... If you were trading in London on, like, Monday, you would have today's session. Today's 9:30 until 3:59, and you would have the last overnight Globex session from 6 p.m. to 9:29. And they're just the 6 levels that I can find solid trades off, as well as the previous week's levels, but they're like all the way up there now. And then the third profile, which is just a extending profile from 9:30. And then if you were trading the overnight session, instead of having one from 9:30, I would have an extended one from 6 p.m. And I use that one just for high volume nodes of that current profile mainly, and like the value levels and the POC. But the value levels I'll only really refer to if they're overlapping with like a previous session value level. Whereas the point of control I'll kind of refer to constantly, just to see where it's shifting to and where it's moving to, and how defined it is. Like I said before, we had quite a deranged profile, so that POC wasn't like a specific level, it was more just like an area because of how volume had built up. I might just do a video on that, to be honest, for volume profile. Because while I don't know, I wouldn't say that I'm qualified at all to teach volume profile stuff. I can teach a little bit of it. Like, the things that are just, like, you can't get wrong, really. Like, I mean, a lot of it you can't get wrong, really. Once you know it, you kind of just know it. Because it's like, this is how it works kind of thing, rather than it being open to... There is an element of it that's open to interpretation, I guess, but there's a lot that isn't. It's like, this is the level. I get the levels, I don't get the shelf shit yet. Still a lot to learn. But it's so damn hard to unsee it. Yeah, oh yeah, god, yeah. Yeah, I still see fair value gaps and stuff, but I think they will leave eventually. Oh, I don't know about that short now. See, the fact that we've just blown through this POC that's now shifted lower from here to here, and we've just blown through it. Now I don't know about the short from where I was trying to short from before. Yeah, big old reaction off the value area low. The shelve stuff, Geordie, is basically just like this current profile. All these little shelves is just like, it's like this is a shelf. The biggest shelf is obviously going to be the point of control, because all these are showing me is like, so I have the value levels showing me where value was established in previous sessions, and then the current profile, all these like where this points out more in the chart is just where in this current session buying and selling has occurred. So like lots of buying and selling like orders have gone into the market like around this level and around this level, and very few went in like here and here at the extremes today. Whereas you might see like on a different day we have like a lot of buying and selling here, some here, maybe a little bit here, like more here again. And what all I'm really looking for is for one of these big shelves, a lot of buying and selling to happen around one of these value levels, because when I'm looking at it from a previous session, obviously it tells me that this level was a significant level. It was where like the significant level, it was where 70% of the volume, it was like the volume drop off in the overnight session profile. And if we then get lots of buying and selling at this level in the current session, it tells me that the big players are defending this level. So once it's shown me that that is happening, I can then wait for it to come down to it, and I can buy it with a lot of conviction that we'll at least get a small reaction. Kind of, yeah. It doesn't have to break it, because like it could have built a lot of volume. Say it got down here and built a big shelf here. We could be coming down to it like we are now, and I wouldn't. Depending on where the POC is of the current session, and like if the POC is shifted at all, that can tell me, and I can use my discretion to tell me if that might hold or not. And that will obviously depend on, like, that tells me whether I should be looking to simply like just buy it or wait for a break of it and then get the retest. Or like you could just do it both ways. You could, if there's a lot of volume at this level, you could literally just, if it's coming down to that level, buy it, and if it breaks level, wait for it to come up to it and sell it. You could just play both sides. So like now, I would expect that to break probably, because we've came down this level once, came down twice. I don't know if I would actually, I will see, I guess. I would want it to break just because that means I get a trade, but we came back up to overnight point of control, and the sellers defended overnight point of control. So we'll see if the buyers defend overnight value area low again. In which case I might honestly look for a short from overnight point of control now that we have the value area of the current session, the value area high. Or if we break, like I said earlier, my ideal trade here is we break, build some volume up along here, and then I can get the retest. I use the POC as the fair value price as opposed to a gap, you know. Yeah. I mean, that's what it is, Geordie. It is the fair. It's fair value because it's where buyers and sellers agreed the most, because it's where the most transactions happened. So the buyers were willing to buy at that price more than any other price, and sellers were willing to sell at that price more than any other price. So it's the fair value. Will I ever combine the two? I don't think so. Just because the way that I would go about ICT trading and the way I go about volume profile trading are vastly different. And to be honest, like, volume profile has just simplified it so much for me that I don't feel the need to combine it with ICT. I do think that if you want to, you can. But it's just, yeah, I don't want to complicate it, because if I was to combine volume profile and and ICT, I feel like it would just complicate it quite a lot. And it's like combining two religions, because not in the sense that they're both made up, but in the sense that if you're trading ICT, you kind of are subscribing to the idea that the market is made by like the algorithm and the market maker theory, all that stuff. Whether you believe it or not, that is what the basis of ICT is. So that's the theory that you're subscribing to. Whereas if you're trading volume profile, you're subscribing to auction market theory, the theory that the market is moved by an ongoing infinite auction between buyers and sellers. Which, if you say to ICT that the market is moved by auction market theory, as in ICT the person, he'll just laugh in your face and say, "Okay, bro." So that's another thing, is that it's quite difficult to trade. At least in my head, like it's difficult to combine them because they both view the market in pretty different ways. But if you kind of strip them back and traded the pure principles, I guess, the pure technicals, then it is doable. But I just think it's too much. Depends though. Obviously, I haven't built much of a strategy to it, and I kind of want to sell this, to be honest. If we can come back to overnight point of control again, I like a 10-point stop there. Yeah, I like that. Honestly, I'll just target the point of control. See if that gets filled. Yeah, exactly, Jordy. From my experience, the market has never made more sense than when I've switched to volume pro. Oh, not it's not that it's made more sense, but I've just learned to not question as many things, I guess. Whereas with ICT, you kind of want to know why it does every single thing that it does. At least that's where my brain goes when I was trading ICT. Every single thing that it did, I would be like, why did it do that? What fair value gap, order block, volume imbalance? What new week opening gap, new day opening gap? Where was the SMT? What, there's always an answer to a question. Whereas volume profile, it's like if it just ran off in one direction, it was like, oh, sellers were really strong that day, buyers weren't. Simple. Don't read into it too much. That's what happened. So yeah, it's a lot more stress-free in that way with volume profile. You do have that habit. Oh, yeah, that is just me. I'm not even simplicity, Geordie. It's just the ability to not have to question everything, I guess. Because like as well, when I was trading ICT, I'd be looking at the market constantly because it felt like there was always something that I could like get out of it. Um, well, not even get out of it, but just like something to watch, something to like study, I guess. I'm gonna cancel that limit order because it's breaking away again, unfortunately. But we might finally now get this volume build up down here, hopefully. See how it reacts its previous day's value area low. I need some volume to build up though, please. Yes. Yeah, but right now, like for volume profile, I'm literally like, I look at the charts, like from sort of 9 a.m. ish. I'm like focused on them from like 10 a.m. because that's like most days. That's where like my trading window opens because I have to wait 30 minutes for this current session volume profile to build enough volume for it to be reliable. So that takes normally about 30 minutes from 9:30, so 10 a.m. And then I've given myself an hour and a half window. I could probably push it to 12, but I like an hour and a half. Keeps it nice and like I'd say like 85% of days I'm able to get a trade in that hour and a half window. If not like 2 or 3, depends on the day. Very little volume built up at those areas in this little push down. So maybe we can come back up. I'm gonna need us to come back up now and build some interest at those levels. But as well, Jordy, you don't have to do it the way that I'm doing it, the volume profile, where I'm like waiting for interest to build up at these levels. Cami teaches like a 3 grade trade system, so like a C grade trade, a B trade, a B or it's easier to say rated. A C-rated trade, a B-rated trade, and an A-rated trade. My monitors are frozen. 1 second. It keeps happening. Don't know why it does it. And yeah, a C-rated trade is just one confluence. So, like any of these levels, arguably, are a confluence. Like overnight value area low, previous day's value area low. So like you could literally buy and sell anytime it comes up to those levels, and it would be a C-rated trade. But C-rated trades obviously aren't going to work out as often as like a B or A-rated trade. So I'm trying to stick to B plus, if not strictly A trades. Oh yeah, the chart's so much more tidy. And this shelf that's building up now is perfectly acceptable for a volume shelf to for me to fade it. Because it doesn't have to be like, it doesn't have to be perfectly over this level if it's in close proximity to it. Like here, if we build this shelf up quite a bit and then break lower, I'll happily take a trade with the basis that I have this shelf and previous day's value area low. But I would like to see this shelf build up quite a bit more. Because look how small that volume is compared to all this volume. Obviously, we've spent a lot more time up there, so there's going to be more volume there. Hidden! Order book is spazzing, is it? It's been a while, Hidden. It's been a while. Hope you're doing well. I've got to dig into the videos of his, but honestly, seeing that it's an hour long is discouraging. We've had enough of that with ICT content. Which video are you talking about, Jordy? Came to see what the dark side is looking like. It's looking pretty dark. You should enjoy these streams now, Hidden, because now I'm trading ES. Or if you switched to NQ, I bet you've switched to NQ now. That's probably what's happened. Is this a different DOM? No. Shouldn't be. The only reason the DOM is above me and not like an actual chart, because I am still entering on a chart. I'm not entering on the DOM. Like, I'm not using the DOM at all. But the DOM is above me basically just because of how TradeAvate looks on my monitor. It makes it difficult for me to show the chart above my face cam instead of the DOM. The DOM is way easier to show above me, so that's why it's there. Cami's video on volume profile. It's not an hour long. Which video are you talking about? Let me get his channel up. He has multiple videos, so Cami, which video are you talking about, Jordy? He has a playlist called like volume profile playlist or something. Let me go on there. Volume profile series. Yeah, he has loads of they're like 8 to 10 minute videos. He doesn't have a single video that's like an hour long. Not in his volume profile series. And it's like what? We have 14 videos and they're all like 6, 7, 10, 9, 8, 7, 9, 7. Yeah, I mean there's probably like an hour and a half of content, but it's all in separate videos. And you don't even need to watch some of them, like one of them, like making a full-time income with, that's just him showing his results. Yeah, I don't know if you're referring to like a different, I don't know what video. He doesn't have a single one single video that's an hour long. Ah, yeah, that probably makes sense, Jordy. Oh, let's see if that value area low holds or if we break above. Back into the range. Ugh. The Dom do be going crazy. That's the micro ES Dom as well. That's not even the ES Dom. If we can build some volume in this area that it's in now and then break lower again, that's the retest that I'll be entering on, because now we've got some volume in that area. I'm hungry though. God damn. That's honestly not a terrible short either, right there. It's just a bit too close to POC. I don't like normally using POC for like a high volume node because it's not the idea is that because POC is fair value, it's tend to bounce more around. Like POC is a magnet, so it's going to go towards the POC. So if I'm in a short here, I probably don't want to be shorting like as we're coming up to POC because the likelihood is its price is going to want to get up to POC because that's where fair value is. What's the weather like in Crewe? Stop out in my location, Geordie. It is 2 degrees Celsius today. It was as low as -4 today. It's been a cold week, I'll tell you that. So I don't know if you work in Fahrenheit or not in the old SA. Yeah. I had to de-ice my car this morning. That's how cold it is. Yeah, extremes, value area low, value area high. Yeah, exactly, Jordy. They're the best trades. POC trades are possible, but they're not as likely to pan out just because of the nature of POC. They can, obviously. It depends on the day, because some days, some like trending days, come off on a run and then they'll retrace back to POC and continue. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you and Mr. Wiz. Not the best trades. Like if you're strictly trying to take high quality trades, then you should be basically never trading off of POC, or very rarely. 3 times I wiped a short of fair value gap, and turns out there was a POC developer. Yeah, see, there you go. Like I just said in this example, that was a nice short from overnight value area low. Nice potential short opportunity, but the fact that POC is right above it, price is more than likely not going to fade from here and instead come up to POC. And look what happened, right up to POC. And while my stop wouldn't have been like right at POC, it would have been just above it. Like I would put my stop just above this node if the POC wasn't here. That would be my stop. And even though it might come up to POC and then continue, it could also come up to POC and kind of just chill at POC for a bit, which could very easily knock me out of the trade. So yeah. There we go. Professor Mac, what's up? Just popping in to say hi. Traded a couple of rotations in Raya Herald. No, nice. Solid trade. Not POC. Ah, okay. Value very high. I really want to mess around with that deep charts platform that I don't know how many of you are familiar with Fabio Valentini, but the platform that him and I can't remember the other guy's name. I remember his first name's Andre. Andre something. I think Andre's the main guy behind it, possibly. I don't know. Or they're the two faces of it. At least they won't be the guys behind it that made it, obviously, but looks like a very solid platform for someone that's trading with volume profile, order flow stuff. Not so much if you're an ICT trader. It's basically pointless trading on a platform like that. His outlook on price action, yeah, it's crazy. What is he? He's like four-time Robbins world champion. I don't know what his best return was. I think his best return was either like in the 200s or the 200s, 300s, or 400s. Probably 300s, I think. Just did a 4-hour video, yeah. Oh wait, Fabio did. I know that the Andre guy did. He did like a your blueprint to trading or something, which is like 4 or 5 hours long, which is crazy. Okay, so we're coming back into the range, so it is a range bound sort of day. Andrea Simi, yeah, thank you. We have lives, bro. I do wonder how many people are like sitting down and watching that video the whole way through. If I was going to watch that, I probably will watch it. I'll get around to it maybe at some point, just as if I've got nothing else to do. But it won't be in one go. Maybe I'll do like 30 minutes at a time or an hour at a time, depending on how much free time I have. Yeah, I know hidden. TopStep no activation fees, yeah. It is coming, I think. Just doesn't have a confirmed date. But yeah, that'll put TopStep back at the top, really. I wonder if they're going to increase their price, like at their monthly price, because they'd easily be, yeah, they'd be around they'd be one of the top firms like for price. If they kept their prices the same and just removed the activation fee, but I feel like they're surely going to increase the price a little bit, right? No activation fee and like $40 something for a 50k is crazy without a discount. But they don't run discounts really, do they, anymore? They used to. Okay, POC held. Hopefully we can break, we'll see. Probably not. I've not seen anything that makes me like really jump to want to take anything. Apart from those fades from that fade from the previous day's POC and overnight value area high. That's the only trade I would have taken today, but it was just annoying because it was right before news, and I don't want to trade right before news personally. No activation fee, but the monthly price is 150 plus. Yeah. Imagine. I could reasonably see them increasing the price to maybe like, I don't know, $60, $70 a month, and getting rid of the activation fee. If they keep the price the same though, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be crazy. Gotta buy snacks for the weekend. Gonna have the lads over. Premier League's bag. Yeah, hell yeah. There is a card. Yeah, catch you soon, Mr. Jordy. I shall be back next week. Have a good weekend with the lads. May the ticks be with you. Wouldn't mind $20 more. Yeah, that would still put them at like a competitive price, for sure. Black Friday sale and no activation fee. They're gonna bank. Yeah. I don't know if they're gonna get round to it by Black Friday. I would guess that they're gonna be maybe the Christmas maybe. Everyone's kind of been talking about it, and I think they've confirmed it. I don't know. I don't really stay in the loop like as much as I should, considering I get people coming into these streams and asking me questions like quite a lot. I should be more in the loop than I am. Okay, overnight value area low held there, so now I'm thinking maybe. Well, I mean held. It printed one candle, but we'll see. If we break that high now, then we're probably looking at a rotation back up to the upside of the range. Might be a no trade day, honestly, because we're just kind of staying inside value. I will short if it gets up to that overnight value area high again, but I don't know how realistic that is. Once I'm back on the 50k XFAs hidden, it'll be like $100 to $200 a trade. Probably $200 a trade. No, that's a lie. Probably $100 a trade. At the minute, I'm just kind of risking whatever I please because this is an account that I'm just using to practice volume profile. So I get confident enough with it. I'm pretty confident with it now, to be honest. So I'll probably be moving to my XFAs pretty soon. Maybe next week or the week after, probably. The week after sounds like a good. So that'd be what? What's the date? The week after next. I need a calendar. Where's the calendar? I just got my phone. The week after next would be start of December. But then it'd be like 2 weeks of trading my XFAs, and then I'd have like or two, maybe three. And then the Christmas break, and then I'd have to come back in January. I do 100 per trade, 2 trades a day. Yeah, I like that. I like not risking any more than $200 a day. Like if I lose $200 a day on a day, then like that's it. That's my cut-off point. And just risking $100 a trade. And since my strategy at the moment is more leaning towards more one-to-one trades, I would have to let myself trade more than once if I won, because otherwise my max winning day would be $100 and my max losing day would be $200, which just doesn't work mathematically. Hope TopStep had replay features. They've been teasing that. Oh yeah, nice. That'd be cool. Prefer Kami's system, simple and elegant. Yeah, 100%. 100%. crazy how well the value levels worked. I used to just give them no mind. Like I heard about them, obviously, like heard about them for ages, but yeah, used to just think that it was just another, like, I don't know, something that's just like, it reminded me almost of pivot points, because I used them like back in the day when I was trading like Forex years ago. But yeah, the more I looked into how the volume profile works and all, like, and it reminded me of like moving averages as well. But yeah, the more I looked into it and why it works, just made a lot more sense. And then it started making too much sense to the point where I was like, I should probably be trading with this way because it just makes so much sense. We've defended point of control again, basically. If we can get this breakout to the downside, I shall be taking it. I am going to need to go for a piss, though. Pretty soon. Volume don't lie. Hell yeah. How do you find daily bias with VP? Not something that you can really concern yourself with as much, hidden. You can use some things like, for example, you can see on my chart that the previous day's point of control is higher than the overnight point of control, and the current session point of control is lower than the overnight point of control. So, like, think chronologically, the previous day's point of control is the oldest point of control on my chart. The overnight point of control is the second oldest, and then the point of control of the current session obviously is the newest. So over the past 3 sessions, fair value, point of control, has shifted lower and lower and lower. So that is one way you can determine bias. You can say, like, look, fair value over the past 3 sessions has shifted lower. Well, you could say over the past 2 sessions, because like this is a session, this is another session, and then this is a session. This is kind of, it's not really a session, it's the session that we're currently in. Obviously it hasn't completely closed yet. But yeah, looking at where the point of control has shifted session to session is one way you could kind of determine a soft bias, let's call it, because it's not a hard bias. You wouldn't strictly be looking for shorts just because the point of control is shifting lower. But it's definitely something that you can pay attention to and make you potentially lean for short moves. And the fact that like overnight value area high is also it's like just below the previous day's point of control. So fair value of the previous day's regular trading hours session is now the overnight levels premium. So what was fair value has become a premium, meaning that, again, price is going lower. But you could also see that the overnight value area low is higher than the previous day's value area low, so that tells you that the discount has come higher, so we've had like a kind of tightening of the range, which makes sense obviously because the overnight session has been more sideways than yesterday's regular trading hour session. Which kind of you could use to say like you would potentially be expecting more consolidation because the range is tightening, or the value levels are tightening. But that's kind of pushing the boundaries of what I know. I'm gonna have to go for a piss break. I'll be like literally 1 minute. Back at previous days value low. Take us with you. Oh, if I saw that before I went hidden, I might have. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. That's cool. Okay, if we get this breakout now, I can look for shorts. So I'm just fucking about with my trade of HR. Oh, we're breaking away. Nice. From where previous days value area low. How's Coop doing? I've not heard from Coop too much. From where previous days value area low. Oh, I don't know what you're asking that from, Professor Mark. I can't remember what I said. We've broken away from overnight value area low. We're kind of just now pulling back into previous days value area low. I'm going to be looking for a short. I want to see us break away from this volume node that we've built just below previous days value area low, because that's the real like support level of the current session. As you can, like, we've just bounced back off of that. So I want to see us snap through this volume, but basically make a new low on the day, and then I can get a retracement from this volume node, which is overlapping a little bit with the previous day's value area low. That'd be my trade. It's not the cleanest, but it is a trade. Get a trading view account? No. I got a Lucid account. Just because their one-time fee makes it pretty good for trying out a new strategy that I'm not like rushing to pass or fail the account on. Excellent call. Fuck yeah. I mean, it needs to happen first, but does it have all the bells and whistles like indicators and replay? My trading view account, I mean, I do have a trading view account. My account has just got the essentials because you need the essentials to have access to the volume indicators that I use, like the volume profile, the fixed range volume profile. You need the essentials trading view package for that, but it doesn't have all the bells and whistles. You can get more stuff, but I just don't need that stuff. I can't. Can I do replay? I don't know if I can do replay. I don't want to anyway, but I probably can. I don't even know where I would go to do. Oh wait, the replay. Yeah, I can do replay, but I wouldn't want to do that. I don't need to. Like I said. One thing I do want to potentially start using. This is something that I've looked into a little bit. I just don't fully understand. I understand how to use it. I just don't have experience at using it. I can't even spell it. I'm just going delta. Cumulative volume delta, CVD. That is something that I'm interested in using. I understand the logic of it. I just don't have experience with it. But I understand that it is a pretty solid tool. And then the ATR, average true range, just helps me determine how big my stop losses should be if I'm struggling. But like you can see on the delta that buying aggression, which is what this tells me, is actually increasing, even though price is coming lower and lower and lower. Buying aggression is increasing, so we might actually get a breakout back to the upside, which makes sense if we're having a rotational day. Not taking a trade, Journey. That's how I've done. How about yourself? It's been a pretty range-bound day. There's been small little trades that I could have taken. One trade that I did wish that I took, obviously, but I couldn't. Was at 9.55, 9.45 from the previous day's point of control and overnight value area high. That would have been a trade setup that was valid. It was just that there was 10 a.m. news, so I didn't really fancy trading into the 10 a.m. consumer sentiment. But yeah, other than that, not really been any super high quality trade signals for me in here. So yeah, got another 15 minutes or so. Doubt I'm going to get a trade though today, to be honest, but that's okay with me. Had three trading days this week. Can I entice you into looking just for you, Journey? For you, of course. I'm going to need to hide this though. I'll just delete it. Do you mean for ES, Journey, or are we talking the NQ BNG? I don't like that one, the 938 one on ES, because it's just in this range. I would use this one if it was me. And that was the BNG that I would have used, which has just kind of bounced around all day. And then that higher one did actually look like it made a few a few clean bounces after the news. Oh, what did I just do? Let's look at the NQBNG, since I'm willing to bet that that's the one that you've been wanting to talk about. Again, I don't really like these two, just because they're overlapping with this back and forth from the ICT standpoint. All that is balanced. So again, I would have, if it were me trading this day today, I would have said that is the better BNG, which again broke through it after 10, but then like 10.26 was a nice reaction. That's all you get in Journey. Give me back my volume profile. Oh, misclick. 930, there we go. Continuing to hold at POC. Oh yeah, you got in a pretty nice short then. On NQ. 938 candle short with target at pre-market low. I had two different short ideas. I used the 938 and it was about 25%. Okay. Yeah, nice. Oh god, my eyes. I think I'm going to call this a day here, boys. Oh, I thought my monitor had frozen again. I'm going to call this a day 15 minutes early. I am going to be checking just in case something happens in the last 15 minutes, but I'm doubtful that it will, so I'll end the stream here. It's been like, what, hour and a half? I don't want to drag the stream out for another 15 minutes just for the sake of it. Another trade idea was short from that daily low from 10.10. I have no idea where the daily low would have been from 10.10. But I trust you, Journey. I trust you that it was a good one. But yeah, I'm going to finish up here for the day, boys, and, well, the week, actually. So I wish you boys a good weekend. Have a good one. Won't be on next week. Oh yeah, Thanksgiving next week, so I'm sure a lot of you American boys won't be here, so have a good Thanksgiving. We do not celebrate that in the UK, so I will be here. But yeah, have a good weekend, boys, and I will catch you next week if you are here.